1. 1-1. One. Okay, folks, here we go, back live. Slight change and a hiccup with technical details with the microphones, but we're very much back on deck. One round competition. And our thanks go to Honeycombe Machinery, who have sponsored this 1.30 metre. Peter Carcree in Queensland and John Mack, as we call him, here in New South Wales. Honeycombe Machinery, biggest dealership of John Deere vehicles in Australia. So John McMillan and Peter Carcree, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. The Honeycombe Machinery 1.30 metre Open. This is one round. Time allowed 66 seconds in the ring now. Formerly from Sweden, but now very much in Victoria. Frida Lindgren. A lot of success with this horse, owned by Brent Dennison. Mabobri de Mabribo. Sensational jumping horse. No clear rounds at this point. Clem Smith, Oaks Conjuror. 4 faults, 62.73 out in front. As Frida completes a 4-fault round in 59.20, and so Frida will go to the top of the leaderboard. Very much so. And as Frida departs, in comes her partner, Phil Lever, from Lever Equestrian. Lomachenko is the horse. Lomachenko starting to hit his straps big time now, with Phil in the saddle by Lord Pizzi. The dam, Stanislawski, is by Hamdla. Exciting combination, these two. Always full of energy. Gets down there on the 6. 7 to 8 on the 7. And then this last line out of the double. Again, on the 7, that's our first clear round. And some 3.5 seconds faster, 55.87. Now that is a time to beat. Phil Lever and Lomachenko say go and beat that. All clear in a time 55.87. Well, you saw him in the last class with his lovely stallion, Billy Raymont. Caprino, bred by Caitlin Bolger. And that Caitlin, of course, was one of our 3 judges in our young horse classes. Owned by Jacinta Kinsella and side by Caprino. Phil Lever out in front, Lomachenko. It's a 1-round competition, straight against the clock. All clear, 55.87 is the benchmark time. Nice shot on the 7. Sunbeams shining very brightly on fence 3. Gets you 6. Now these 2 7-stride lines. Gets there early on the 7, but still jumps. Excellent work, Billy Raymont, Caprino. It's the 1 rail, 64.50. Now then, there's the backstory here. Anneliese, Wansey, Kolora, Stud, St. Patrick. And the backstory is that in the next class, it's our Trans-Tasman young rider team, of which Anneliese Wansey is part of the Australian team, and we'd love to have a big crowd a la the Matildas. We're all in a very sporting frame of mind at the moment. And if those guys down in the stable area can hear me, love to have some bums on seats in the grandstand for the Trans-Tasman Australia versus New Zealand to follow this class. And the lady in the ring right now is in the Australian squad. Anneliese Wansey, Kolora, Stud, St. Patrick. looking after a horse, looking for a solid clear, set her up for the next 3 days to come. Okay, job done, well done. Anneliese. Anneliese just 20 years of age, and as I say, another year left in young rider, and she will be leading our Australian team against the young rider team from New Zealand in the next class here this evening. Promises to be a ripper, and we'd love to give these young riders a great deal of atmosphere, so please, if we can get people up to the grandstands to cheer on the Australian team, and for that matter the New Zealand team, that would be a great thing to do for these young riders, many of whom wearing the Australian jersey for the first time. Here's a champion of Australia. He won last year's series for the World Cup. His name's Sam Overton. Sam rides JEP Texas. Sam doesn't believe in can't. Everything is possible. And just in his 3rd year of jumping World Cup, he won the series here in Australia and then went to jump the World Cup final. Well done, Sam Overton. Yes, and why not? JEP Texas, a little backing up indoors, I would suggest. The 2 rails, 8 faults. 62.50. Time allowed is 66 seconds. Great supporter of show jumping. From New Zealand. 1. Apologies, folks. We're having a few technical details with our sound this afternoon, but suffice to say that we have a new leader. We watched before with Phil Lever and Lomachenko go clear in 55.87. Oaks Diamantina, Sarah Duggan. Do you mind? 3.5 seconds faster. 51.32. What a time. That will take some beating. Sarah Duggan, Oaks Diamantina, all clear. 51.32. Well, the master of faster, he's in the ring. Tommy McDermott, Coolie Gangster. He'll be jumping a few big classes, possibly including the World Cup this week. Don't know that Tom will run him off his feet today. Copy that plan, on point. So Tom looking for a confident clear with Cooley. Beautiful hands on a horse. Yes, plan executed to perfection, to perfection. All clear inside the time allowed of 66 seconds, 63.62. That was completely and utterly what Thomas wanted. And again, even Cooley has a look at those Waratah fills. They have caused an issue or two this afternoon. But let's quickly look at the scores outdoors. Sarah Duggan out in front, Oaks Diamantina, all clear, 51.32. Phil Lever rode the house down with the effervescent Lomachenko. Went round, scurried round in 55.87. And then in comes Sarah, 51.32. Holy dooly. Charlie Hendler, RBH Dante by Diorado, having a good show. If you've just joined us, this is a one-round competition. Straight against the clock. No seconds added, you take your faults forward. Another horse has a look at that fill. I know what people at home are going to be building or buying or finding out where these Waratah fill can be bought from. Horses just don't like the look of them. Well ridden, Tarly. Gets her 6. Gavin Chester been building superb all day. He's got 2 7-stride lines. Well done, Charlie. Horse a little spooky, then got down his lines a little quick. But that's okay. Charlie Handler, she's a very competent jockey. Lovely to see it. A little pat down the side. As Jennifer Wood Castell comes into the arena. We had Dave Finch from Finch Farm as one of our guest judges today. This horse by David Stallion, Calgary GNZ. Bred by Chloe Hughes and owned by Grace Dawes. Jen Wood having a superb few days last week and now in the young horse classes today. She gets them in the air, does Jen. Loves the canter in front of her leg. just drifted a little. Certainly has some scope. One to look out for going forward. Jennifer Wood, Castell, keep that one in the memory bank. Predict good things for that combination. Horse has got a mountain of jump. Now, Laracus. Andrew Inglis had a stellar show last week. Could not stop winning, or at least placing at worst. He loves this sort of competition. By Caracas. Sai on the dam side is Accord. Now, how fast dares he move up? Great shot on the 7. Keeps the horse rolling. Horse just running a little disunited in his corners, costing him a few seconds. Great job, Andrew. All clear in a time of 62.55. So if we take that as a benchmark time, 62.55, and when I tell you that Sarah Duggan, Oaks Diamantina, is in the lead, 51.32, 11 seconds faster. 11 seconds faster. Rachel Vella. And Rachel, again, had a great start to this campaign with 3 solid days last week with this horse, Cordelia Ego Z. By Core Dalme Z. And again, in the stables, if you can hear us, at the end of this competition, we start the Trans-Tasman, Australia versus New Zealand young rider competition. And we'd love to see some support for the Australian riders in particular. In fact, of course, also for the New Zealand. There's a lot of New Zealand riders here. So just a good sporting event to watch. Australia versus New Zealand in the young rider competition. And well done, Rachel, as Cordelia looked to go right off 4A. Well done, Rachel. A couple of rails, but that will again be better for tomorrow. It's 1 metre 30 open. Honeycombes Machinery. Thanks again, John McMillan, Peter Carcrey, great supporters of Showjumping. Yes, so looking to pull a crowd together for our next event, the Trans-Tasman Young Rider Competition. Australia versus New Zealand. I'm sure all those young riders would appreciate some interest from everyone on the showgrounds as we go forward with Tulara Cameron, KPH Campari. Another horse owned by Liz Watson, great supporter of Tulara's and Red Leaf. Sensibly, 4A gets a look at. It's a heck of a time out in front. I'll remind you, it's Sarah Duggan, Oaks Diamantina, all clear, 51.32. What a solid round that was. Really. KPH Campari. Just 7 years of age. In fact, 6. Jess Brown having a great day out at the office. She rides the stallion, Casting. Owned by Alice Cameron, by Katoki, and the Super Sire Cassini won on the dam side. Doesn't this horse look a picture? We were looking for technique in the young horse classes. Check this front end out. Wow. The undercarriage of a 747, just really powerful. Going well, Jess Brown on the stallion, Casting. 61.92. Certainly weren't going for time today, but another Alice Cameron horse doing its thing. Tilly Fair trains with Brooke in Victoria, Brooke Hickey that is. Just 19 years of age. And would you believe it, another Oaks horse. Oaks Constantino by Contendro 1. Well, Sarah Duggan really has thrown the mantle down. All clear in 51.32. It is going to take some chasing. Great ride, Tilly. just the one rail. Constantino and Tilly Fair. Another combination to look out for. Go very well together. Now, if they stay up, this young lady can give us some fun. Kelly Bridgeland, Showtime Burrow, originally from New Zealand. And I have seen this combination scurry around some tracks. But Kelly also may have 4 days of jumping in mind, or not. We'll soon find out. As she winds up, Showtime Burrow. No, Kelly's away. Unlucky. Certainly, she was getting a roll on. Well done, Kelly. Great competitor, isn't she? I love her attitude. Never rides for second. Kelly Bridgeland and Showtime Burrow, 4 faults, 60.44. As we welcome Jessie Smith. Jessie on SPR Powder. Some beautiful breeding, and father, the sire, Balou, Rouet, world-class bloodlines. Jessie just turned 25 earlier this month. Is a highly talented photographer, very artistic. Well, I just had a plan, added down her lines, wanted to set the horse up today. SPR Powder can take a little bit of a hold and just say, not today, let's start as we mean to carry on. A little slower, but clear. And that was very much the plan. Now we saw this combination jump earlier. It's Elizabeth Hoy, SF Capricious. Remember this horse side by Sierra Casiago. One round competition. Great job, Elizabeth Hoy. Just one rail on the 7-year-old Elizabeth Hoy on SF Capricious. And at just 7, you really start to think that horse and rider combination have got a big future. We just saw Jesse Smith and now Father Clem. Clem, one of the great characters and gentlemen of the show jumping sport. Quantico 12 by Quintenda. And if there is somewhere to shave a corner or two, Clem does this for a living. Highly competitive, gets the inside line. Unlucky. Elbows were going, he's getting into his job. Well done, Clem. Highly competitive. Olivia Hamoud, Yukala Casey, owned by Sue Knox of the Yukala stud, side by Check-In. Like Clem, really adept at shaving corners, angling. Lovely round. Olivia Hamoud just taking her time. 3 days of big time competition to come. So day one, it's all about setting your horses up. And she did just that. Cammy Zed, Madeline Cinderberry, just 22 years of age. This will be Maddie's World Cup ride on Saturday. Great job, Maddie. She's just 22 years of age, but that was a solid round. As mentioned, Cami Zed, the likely partner of Maddie Cinderberry in the World Cup. So she's got big plans for this weekend. As our qualified practicing vet, Mattea Davidson and JB Vigilante. Twelve-year-old gelding, side by the great Vivant. Mattea, a busy lady, as mentioned before, heavily involved with veterinary, does all her own breeding, and with husband Shane, completely and utterly dedicated to show jumping. So it was at this point now when Sarah Duggan finished her round. Great job, Mattea. JB Vigilante. Just the one down, 65.58 the time taken. Just inside the time allowed of 66 seconds. Billy Raymont, he finished second in our last class. Dacardo is the horse by the wonderful Diorado. 11-year-old gelding, owned by Elise Maxwell. Job done. As you can see, a lot of riders using this as a first out approach. Get that clear round under their belt. Get the horses relaxed to the arena. We don't see that many indoors. As Tommy McDermott comes forward on YPH Capulet, a former ride of Billy Raymont's, up to World Cup level. 13-year-old gelding by Yalambi's Caprino Z, owned by Clemency Hughes. Trains with Tommy McDermott. That's what we wanted, a solid clear. Sets YPA H Capulet up for the rest of the program. Still out in front, Sarah Duggan, Oaks Diamantina for Team Priestley. All clear at a time of 51.32. Phil Lever, Lomachenko, all clear 55.87 in second. And Olivia Hamoud, Urukala Casey, all clear 60.90 in third. And riders, you will not, repeat, not be required for a mounted presentation. Not required for a mounted presentation, as we were going to move straight on and catch up some time into our Trans-Tasman competition. So riders, you will not be required for a mounted presentation. Brooke Edgecombe. Brooke rides LT Holst Andrea by the Super Sire, that is Casal. Wow, I haven't seen a lot of LT Holst Andrea. I'd like to see some more. So by Casal, and a really lovely jumping horse, to say the least. Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea. Thanks again to Peter Carcary and John McMillan, sponsors of the Honeycombes Machinery 130 Open. And that appears well, folks, there is just a quick arena break while we tend to the surface, particularly outside in the warm-up, which allows me to focus on our exhibitor village for 2 seconds, Antares and Jamie Smith, the wonderful French manufactured, beautiful saddlery. Jamie travels all around the east coast of Australia with the Antares display. It's not just saddles, it's helmets, and it's beautiful calf bags, and you name it. It's a stunning array of just top-class saddlery. I made the point last week, you've heard of Hermes and other such manufacturers. Well, Antares is all as good as those, Gucci and so on. Have a look at Antares, go and talk to Jamie. And then if you move down the line, MC Apparel, and their wonderful line of clothing. MC responsible for producing the uniforms of the Australian teams. Lightweight riding attire, built for the rider, by the rider. And great to see that Coco Miles is on board as the chef to keep for the Australian team in our next competition. Coco expecting her first child in December. Horseland Jural, the girls there. And part of the Australian team is on board now. Anneliese Wansey, 20 years of age, will be riding for Australia in the following class. Anneliese rides Texas, owned by Mike Herkus. Certainly jumped the last. Anneliese Wansey and Texas. Lovely horse. Phil Lever presently in second spot on Lomachenko. Out with his second ride, Blue Steel, NZPH. Side by the extremely popular Mr. Blue. Phil setting this horse up for the rest of the week. It's got some style and scope, that's for sure. Nice horse, to say the least. Phil Lever, all clear, 64.07. Overton in the lineup in our last class. Pabello. By Picabello. Once again, Carly taking a real professional approach to day one. Wants to have lots of jumping in these legs of Pabello going forward. Once again, smart round, job done. Carly Overton, no jumping, no time. Clear, 64.01. Jennifer Wood, another Casiago bred horse, iPod. Can take a little hold. Noticeably jumped better as the days went on last weekend. Jennifer Wood and iPod. Great job, Jen. Jennifer Wood and iPod start the show exactly as they would have loved to have started the show. Goes into third spot. Yeah, so noticeably more breaks on iPod for Jen Wood and into third. As we welcome Kate Hinchin, Conchita Van der Hel by Coleman. Kate's horse is so techniquey, so impressive. Well done, Kate. Really picked up from where we left off in the warm-up show. Another clear for Kate Hinchin, Conchita Van der Hel. Angela Dobbin, already out earlier this afternoon. Gabrielle MVNZ, a lot of New Zealand bred horses. She rides a horse by the beautiful Cardento. Angela Dobbin, Gabrielle MVNZ. Lovely expression in this horse's head. Lots to like about this horse. Yeah, like your horse there, Angela Dobbin, Gabrielle, MVNZ, proper horse, one for the future. All the breeding in the world by Cardento. A kind horse, a lovely horse. Sammy Overton back into the ring. Cha-Cha Blue. Talk about breeding by Cha-Cha Blue, the #1 stallion for show jumpers in the world, and Contendro on the dam sire. Wow. Black type. Sam Overton, Cha-Cha Blue, GHP. Bred again, another performance source by Olivia Hamoud. Wow, photographers, get your button finger ready. This is some horse. Yeah, put that name in your memory bank too. Cha-Cha Blue, GHP. How far will Sam Overton take that partnership? It will only be limited by Sam Overton's imagination, and I got to tell you, that's as wide as the Atlantic Ocean. Smart horse. Well, we saw Angela go earlier. Now, husband, Brooke. Brooke, a very accomplished World Cup rider, highly sought after coach, and also involved with pre-training and breaking in of thoroughbreds. Another New Zealand horse, Gina, MVNZ by Chin Chin. Definitely be happy with that. Great start to his show. Brooke Dobbin, all clear with Gina, MVNZ. Drops into 4th spot. Even more reason to smile. Time taken 57.22, all clear, jumping wise. All clear time. Into 4th, Brooke Dobbin, Gina, MVNZ. Andrew Inglis, Alili, Another horse by Vivant with Darko on the dam side. Neat turn inside line, being very economic. Thought about coming in, just really jumped the oxer. Well done, Andrew. All clear. 56.16. Inglis and a Lily jump into third spot. Sarah Duggan still out there on her own. Oaks Diamantina. All clear, 51.32, as Mattea Davidson comes back for a second ride on her great partner, Checkamore D, who she's ridden to World Cup level by check-in. Another horse having a hit out for the bigger classes later in the weekend. Job done. Mattea Davidson. Steady clear inside the time was the plan, and that is exactly what she got. 66 seconds is the time allowed. Time taken, 62.26. As Kylie Hawkins and Calidor come into the ring. Horse by Conquistador, Diamond B stud, already sponsored 7-year-olds. And a reminder that we do not need riders for a mounted presentation for this class. And we'd love to see a full house back in the grandstands if we can feed horses early and get ourselves back up to the stadium as we welcome our visitors from New Zealand. Next class is the Trans-Tasman battle, if you will, inverted commas, for young riders. Australia versus New Zealand. Well done, Kylie. Very brave. Kylie Hawkins and Calidor. Good look at the arena. So yes, the Trans-Tasman teams event for young riders. Up next, Australia versus New Zealand. Samantha Van Leerde from New Zealand, in fact, and Samantha rides Cadillac NZPH. Horse by Jocus Latour. Very capable jockey. Got our first glimpse of Samantha at the warm-up show last week. Very impressive. Great job, Samantha. All clear, 60.62. Samantha Van Leerde and Cadillac NZPH. As Shane Davidson and Spectra D comes into the arena. This horse we saw in our 7-year-old, an entire stallion by Staccato. Shane, a very capable jockey. He too has ridden at and won at World Cup level. From Queensland, Shane Davidson, Spectra D. Well done, Shane. Spectra D looks totally comfortable in the indoor. You'll be happy with that. A couple of rails down, but that's really not terribly relevant. Horse jumped so well. As Tom McDermott enters the arena with another stallion he's recently imported, Mr. Lincoln B. Our reigning national senior champion. Involved with racehorses with partner Richard. Does a great job bringing on next generation jumpers. And himself one of the best in the country. And straight away, you can see he's giving the stallion a nice, quiet look. Tommy. What a lovely ride. Haven't seen much of Tom on this new horse, but I can tell you, it went well last weekend. It's just gone better again now. Doesn't take him long to get them pinging, looking the part. Tom McDermott, Mr. Lincoln B. He would have to be absolutely ecstatic with that round. More shape, softening. We are on our way. Tom McDermott doing a great job with Mr. Lincoln B. Samuel, again from New Zealand. Kettle, GNZ, by Ladano. Another one of our New Zealand guests, which thoroughly impressed us all at the Waratah warm-up weekend. Owned by Kyra Manson. Well done, Sam. Determined. Nice pat on the way out. As we roll through the competitors. And it's young Ginger back again. Ginger Gilly, 22 years of age, Diamond B, Vancouver. Helen Chuck will be happy. One of the leading sponsors at the show. Diamond B prefix in front of Vancouver. Trains with Brooke Hickey. Let's get a little sensitive on the neck. Little sheepskin on the reins. It's a clever idea. Stops rubbing on the horse with sweat. Great job, Ginger. Ginger Gilly and Diamond B Vancouver. All clear. 61.95 the time taken. Natalie Moore, Dalano. Now, is Natalie going to have a crack at Sarah Duggan's time? I'm and Tina, all clear, 51.32. Because if there was a partnership that was going to have a go and could be in with a chance, it would be these two. Off the first part a little. Back rail of the second part of the double just a little far away. Well done, Natalie. Couple of rails, yes, but again, I don't think we'll have 3 more days of jumping without those two featuring in a lineup somewhere. Clem Smith. Back with Casino GNZ. Jeepers creepers, there has been some New Zealand bred horses in this class. Owned by Jan Hunt and by the legend that is Cassini 2. Clem Smith, Casino GNZ. 10-year-old. Take more than that to unseat Mr. Smith, Mr. Stickability. Hands of a magician, this guy. Watch his hands carefully. They're so sympathetic at the right time. Well done, sir. Clem Smith, Casino GNZ, better for the round. A little looky, or why not? They're not police horses. Some fantastic breeding in that horse. As mentioned, Cassini 2, world class. Now we've seen Frida Lindgren ride earlier. Hannah Doolan, I would not like to jinx her, but gosh, with Frida's Ashley City Lights it was, Frida took to great success. This young lady rode so well last weekend. Hannah Doolan, she's only 15 years of age. This great horse by Caracas. So, relatively new combination, not easy, and in the indoor. Seven to the last, well done, young lady. Hannah Doolan, all class. Ashley, City Lights with your name in lights. How impressive, how utterly impressive. Extra oats for Ashley City Lights tonight. Hannah Doolan absolutely stoked with that round, and so she should be. Now, we always know this guy can ride. He's been to 2 Olympics. He can ride all right. But he's running in to a run of form. Everything he's sitting on is so competitive. He's James Patterson Robinson, and he's riding Katut, owned in partnership with GPI Racing. But yeah, as mentioned, he's just so consistent. Katut, 10-year-old gelding. Another super round. He's done it again. James Patterson Robinson with Katut. Actually, 66.49, one time fault, but really who cares? Who's counting? Nobody. James had a plan in mind and it was extremely well executed. He'll certainly be putting his foot down in later competitions, but that was just what the doctor ordered. A really solid performance. James Patterson Robinson and Katut. Mia Curry and Mia rides APH Charlie Brown. This horse by Dodger Straits. Owned and ridden by Mia Curry. He is just 20 years of age. Well done. Back to fight another day. Mia Curry, APH Charlie Brown. Couple of rails, but again, who's counting? That was really bold riding from Mia, and I'm sure we'll see more of her in the next few days. Busy man in the saddle, Phil Lever. Lomachenko still in second spot for Phillip. Comes back with his third ride. Oaks Van Dyke. Owned by Reese Hamlin. A 9-year-old gelding. Again from Alice Cameron's Oak Stud program. And again, thanks to Alice for her earlier support of the whole Young Horse Day today. It's been so successful, embraced by owners, riders, trainers alike. Definitely some potential. Quite a long horse. But really gets that body working and feel with that give at that final stride. The horse starts to use his neck more. Phil Lever, Oaks Van Dyke. Just inside time allowed. When I say just, the time allowed is 66 seconds. 65.83 the time taken. But again, I'm sure Phil will be very happy with that. And as one half of the partnership exits, enter Frida Lindgren. Frida rides Van Dam. Van Dam, a 10-year-old gelding by Val Desiree. Dam sire was Drossel Clang, which is Laurie Lever's Drossel Dan bloodline. Laurie, of course, rode Drossel Dan at the Olympic Games. One of the standout lady riders on the Australian circuit, originally from Sweden, now calls Australia home. I think there's a song about that. I think Frida could get a rocking horse around a show jumping track. She is exceptionally talented. Another clear in the bank of Frida Lindgren and Van Dam. All clear, 61-2-3.